Hello. In this second video, I'm going to be showing you how to add more students to your previously created monitor list. And we're going to be searching for individual students to add them and also adding entire groups of students by a course or teacher. So to do this, as anything with monitor lists, I need to go back to my student tab when I'm in Eduphoria Aware. And then I go down to the bottom left-hand corner to manage my monitor lists. And then I have my previously created monitor list right here. I'm going to select it so that it turns orange, and then I'm going to click Edit Selected List. I can change any of this at any time if I need to update it, or if you did not follow the district naming conventions, you can change that at this point. Then I click Next, and now I'm back at the page that you saw before when we uploaded a CSV. Here are my previously added students to my monitor that were added to my monitor list. And I can now add individual students now at this point. So I can search by all of these different things up here: student name, ID number, course code, course title, a specific teacher's name, or even a teacher's email address. So I can do that by typing anything in for their name. I just typed in a last name, Smith. I pressed enter, but you can also press search, and then I can click on specific students and add them to my list, one at a time. Okay, so that's how you search for a student's name. Now, you can also type in a student's ID number if you have that. So I'm going to type in an ID number, press search, and then it will pull up the student with that matching ID number, and I can add them that way. Now, if I'm trying to add a specific group of students, I have a couple of different options. I can type in the course code, which you can get from Skyward, or the course title, or even a teacher's name or teacher's email address. Now, each of these methods adds every single student from that course. So if you're only trying to get access to specific individuals from a specific teacher's class, then I would go ahead and add them by uploading a CSV or typing in their student name and or ID number to search for. But if you want to add an entire course, you can do that. Now, this is the demo site, so I got this course. It's not going to look like our Northeast courses, but I type in the complete name. For elementary school, you would type in the E and the 4-digit code, and then for middle school, the M and the 4-digit code, and so on. Again, you can get those from Skyward. And then I click search. It will pull up every single teacher who teaches the course with that code, and you can find their the correct teacher's name that you're interested in, and then you can find the period. And hovering over it seems to give you some more information if you're not sure which class period you're trying to add. So clicking on it and then clicking add will add that entire teacher's roster. You notice that it's the teacher's roster and not the individual names of students, because you can't click on them and then remove them. If you change your mind about any of these, you could always go back and select it and remove if you accidentally added the wrong one. Also, I want you to notice now that I've gone back into this roster a second time, you see that some of these say auto approved by active roster data and others do not. That means that these students in green you already will have access to, and you will already be able to see and analyze their data through the monitor list because they're in your Skyward roster already. These other students that don't have anything listed next to them are not actually rostered to this current teacher, and so therefore this teacher would have to get their admin level approval in order to be able to see the data for these students. Now, you may not know the course in Skyward, but you surely know the teacher's last name that you're looking for, so you could type in their last name, even only the first 3 letters if it's a very long name. Click search, and every teacher that has that last name will pop up, and you could click on the correct one and click the add button in order to gain access to all of their students. Once you're finished adding all students, individual students, or entire teachers' classes or class periods, make sure to click Next so that it actually submits it. Now, you may be watching this video and are thinking of another teacher that you would actually want to share your classes with. You don't actually have to teach them how to do that. You can go ahead and share your classes with them automatically. And that also is still here on the Students tab. And you can go down here to Share My Classes. Click there. If you don't see that, it's probably because your Chrome your internet browser is zoomed in too much. And so if you come up to the top right, some browsers, it looks like three dots on top of each other. Mine just happens to be this red arrow. And then you zoom out, and then you'll probably be able to see it then, if you're not seeing that right away. So I came down here to share my classes, and then I would name the monitor list. Again, try to follow those district naming conventions, the school, the grade, some kind of name, so like De La Cruz class, and then the year. And then you can select exactly which class periods to do. So maybe I just want to do my homeroom, or maybe I want to do all my homeroom and all my math classes. I can also deselect. Notice when it's bolded that way, it's indicating those are the classes that you are choosing to share. Okay, so then over here you find this recipient that you want to search for. You can type in their first name, a last name, or their email address, or even just the beginning of it, and click Search Users, and then everybody will pop up that matches that description. You select their name, add selected user to recipients. Now I can actually see the recipient down here, and finally I share classes with that recipient. If you don't have anybody here, chosen recipients, and you click Share Classes, it tells you you must at least select one class or select one recipient. So if you get this warning, it's probably because you either forgot to select a class period or you didn't actually add that user to the recipients. Notice I could add multiple users. If you have many people coming in that also need to have access to the exact same class periods. If they don't need access to the same class periods, I would share them individually. Then share classes with recipients, and they're successfully shared. Those are all the steps for creating monitor lists and sharing your classes with other teachers to make their monitor lists. Look for an upcoming video that shows you how to analyze data for this entire group of students within the monitor lists you created.